let's get into our press review now. And we begin with the Standard newspaper, your bold paper. The headline, Uhuru and Ruto move to rescue Jubilee legacy. It's 1 year into power. And of course, legacy is already in play. What will Kenyans remember these two principles for? The self-audit is here.
All right, we've significantly improved ease and cost of doing business, making Kenya more attractive to investors that are creating thousands of jobs for our people. That's Aiden Mohammed, industrialization.
And you have Judy Wahungu, the environment. We've increased water access from 51% of Kenyans to 53%. Forest cover to 7% of the total land area of the country. Now we are fighting poaching.
This year alone, we are issuing 1 million title deeds. We've already given 39,000. Some other 27,000 titles are ready for issuance in our registries. That's Charity Ngilu from Lands.
Indeed, who did not appear in person, sent her PS to represent her in that address. And we've opened up 40,000 acres of land for irrigation as we move to target 1 million. We've issued 180,000 metric tons of subsidized fertilizers to our farmers. Those are the words of Felix Koskei, Agriculture, who also sent the PS to
Absolutely,
represent.
It continues today. More 4 cabinet secretaries or their PSs will be taking the stage, and they would give a self-audit of what they've done and where they want to go and where they're planning to take their ministries.
Yes, and UN scientists' chilling prediction on Kenya over climate also on the front page. Effects of global warming. So cases of malaria, meningitis to increase significantly across the country. Beans harvest to drop by 68%. Also, maize yield expected to shrink.
Indeed. On page 2, tough new matatu laws take effect as industry players rush to meet rules. That would be the reason why today there are no matatus or people are being overcharged on the roads.
Yes.
Read about that story and the push and pull between the matatu operators and the government regulators.
Right, and passengers have also been warned against roadworthy vehicles. They have been urged that the Coast Senior Traffic Commander Martin Kariuki has warned passengers against boarding vehicles that have not complied with the new traffic rules. So it's also new to make sure that you just don't get into a matatu. Owners Throng Station to get cleared yesterday, as we saw in Wilkister's report. It was a last-minute dash. But you know what, James? They've known about this for a very long time. They waited hoping it would actually they'd postpone, but Engineer Kamau maintained his ground and said, you know what? We ain't fooling around.
You have to do it. You have to do it. I mean, and I think he's absolutely right when he says, I mean, the issue of speed governors and seatbelts have been there for over 10 years since the Mishuki time. So at what point do they want it, you know, when do they want the cut-off? Say, well, we'll have enough time to have installed this. They needed to have installed this and have moved this.
All right, and we'll continue with our press review in a short while. We are joined by Laban of Mathri Routes with an update on traffic. Laban, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to hear from you this morning. Quite a different updates we are seeing from the Mathri Routes Twitter handle. All about few matatus, walking nation.
Talk to us. How's the roads looking like this morning, Laban?
Yeah, so the people woke up really early. I guess they were prepared as early as 4 people on the roads, and matatus are really like few on most of the routes. Like Jogoo Road, Kangundo Road, Thika Road, Mombasa Road, like everywhere. So there are few matatus that are operating, but it's like they're all hiking their fares on most of the routes, except Ngong Road. Yeah.
So Ngong Road, everything is normal?
A bit normal, because one of the volunteers said that it's normal, and he hopes that the operators not hear about the other one. So, but it's not a strike per se. It's like a non-compliance thing. Like most of the matatus that didn't fix those governors and whatever, so they are not on the road. So it's just few operating matatus.
And are we seeing more traffic officers out there to just ensure they're stopping each of these matatus to check compliance?
Yeah, I haven't heard of a lot of folks, but I think that they're on the road and matatus are aware of that, so they don't want to go get arrested. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll definitely be catching up with you as you go along with the show to just get updates and also just how different this day is. And that really, it was coming and everybody knew about it. And here we are with the looming crisis, at least for today. So definitely we'll catch up with you as we continue, Laban. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia.
All right, see you soon, Laban. You'll be here shortly.
Yes, and he will be here as well. Let's continue with our press review. And Uhuru gets cabinet secretaries to brief Kenyans on weighty issues, page 3. And they get to stand and talk about what the last 1 year has been.
Yes, that's coming from the page 1. It's a continuation on page 3 of your Standard newspaper. And if you grab a copy of the Standard newspaper, please do let us know if you've seen the April Fool's prank of the day. It's right there. Right there
actually, where is it? Show me.
Why would I do that?
Well,
if you grab your
is it on the front page?
Of the Standard, you'd be able to see the April Fool's
prank. And remember also to tweet us.
Please, we're waiting for that tweet. It would be so wrong for me to give it away. But you can give it to me. I actually haven't noticed. I hope I'll catch it. But I hope it's not like on a serious issue. You know, those people who use really... Well, I think even the Daily Nation also, you know, has a prank. Has a prank. Okay. Well, if you have your copy of the Standard, tweet us if you've seen it. What is the prank today in the Standard newspaper? But more details, of course, of the unfortunate attack in Eastleigh last night. 6 killed, 18 injured in separate terror attacks in Nairobi Estate. And this, unfortunately, just, you know, we keep having this conversation about security, and Kenyans more and more continue to feel unsafe. And you have people saying, where is Ole Lenku? Where is the government? You know, where are the stakeholders in ensuring this runaway security does not, insecurity, it does not continue? Indeed. The back page of this Standard? Yes, James. The person who came up with this, you know, April Fool's the day that Manchester United is playing Bayern Munich. That is so epic that, you know, you'd know that, you know, God actually exists. You know, such and such a moment. These are called haters. We are coming haters. For you. Who are we? You're the Arsenal people. We are coming for you. I know. Look at that. And then he's lifting his hand. That's not me. That's not me. So it will be quite the match to catch later on today, that is. What time will it be, James? Around 10:45. And I will be asleep, but we'll definitely catch the results tomorrow. Daily Nation, Uhuru loses bid to terminate ICC case. Judges direct the government to release Uhuru's wealth records. Prosecutors plea to postpone the trial indefinitely thrown out. Bensouda had wanted there to just be, you know, an indefinite period of just putting it out there, nobody knowing when it's going to happen. But we have a date. It's October, is it? Yes, October the 7th. The prosecution has been directed within 2 weeks of the date of this decision to provide the Kenyan government with an updated request, which is based upon records request and is tailored to reflect the items that remain of specific relevance to the charges. Remember, the battle here is the accounts, the bank accounts of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The Attorney General had gone to The Hague and said it is for ICC to get the records of the president. They need to send a request to the Kenyan courts that they be processed in the Kenyan courts. If the courts allow, then that's the only way that those bank records and details can be given to them. The ICC says this is what the prosecution needs to do. They just need to put an updated list of what they want, the accounts, and its relevance to the case, and that's it. So that's read about that story covered for you on page 4 and 5 of your Daily Nation. Okay, and page 2, heavy rains depress milk prices. So industry poor households get more milk from offers as farms cut back on what they pay producers. It is one of the stories that you find here, and we expect a drop in consumer prices for processed milk, in the absence of which we will encourage urban consumers to buy directly from farmers. Those are the words of Stephen Mutoro, who's Cofex CEO. Absolutely. Read also about the county bosses head talks to Mombasa. That has been covered for you quite extensively. What they're on page 6 starts tomorrow. The devolution conference brings together MCAs and governors and the national leadership. And Uhuru is saying that it's a waste of resources. He says that the recent meeting there last week with the MCAs, the governors should have been part of it and had those conversations there. Yesterday, in an interview, he said, in his opinion, it really is a waste of resources to have all these people again in Mombasa in a time where wage
bill conversation and cutting of wastage is happening, to still have another meet of such a magnitude after the one that they just had recently.
Absolutely. Yes. Also,
back page.
Parastatals chiefs yet to take 20% pay cut.
Yes, we heard about that directive.
But neither has any MP taken any pay cut, and including the president and the deputy himself. They've made the proclamation, but they haven't taken the pay cut.
They haven't taken it.
Yes.
Will you take a pay cut as well?
Are you taking a pay cut?
Let's take a pay cut. So top officials ask for more time to heed president's directive seeking to tackle increasing wage bill. Why do they want more time? The presidential bosses had requested to be given time to adjust their pay slips. Really? To absorb the expected salary cuts? Salaries and
you need to adjust. You need to. I mean, you need to move houses. You need to take your children to different schools. I mean,
please.
Yeah, you just don't wake up today and take a pay cut.
Okay.
Uhuru fails to terminate IC trial. The same story that has been covered for you on front page of the Star. Matatu crisis looms as rules begin, and 6 killed in Eastleigh explosions. That story that happened yesterday night around 7:30 p.m.
Right, and inside the pages of, this must be a prank, Binyavanga appointed Kenya's ambassador to Uganda.
Absolutely.
Page 2.
That is quite obvious.
That is quite an obvious prank in the Star today. The renowned Kenyan author Binyavanga has been posted as Kenyan ambassador to Uganda with effect from April 1st. That is quite obvious.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, still waiting for you to get the standard prank.
Yes, catch the standard prank, get yourself a copy, tweet us what it is, and we'll give you a shout out. That's all the giveaway we have for you. And we have no record of new jobs, ministers. So the Jubilee government does not know the number of new jobs it has created during the first year in power. So of course that is a huge promise they'd made during the campaign. So when they come into office, more jobs, but they do not have a number. So then how do you measure success if we do not know how many new jobs you've created?
I tell you. Yeah. Yes. That's back page. Glasgow is next. World Half Marathon champ Cherono targets club games. After winning the World Marathon title, Gladys Cherono has now set her focus on Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland in July and August.
Indeed, amazing sports activity here, including rugby. Kenya Sevens pitted against Fiji and Wales in Glasgow leg, and Japan ready to take over World Cup from Qatar. That's after they host, so they're ready to hold the 2022 World Cup if FIFA strips Qatar.
6 fear dead in Eastleigh blast. Top story reading there on the People. But an interesting story that has been covered and has been continuing, progressing in the last weeks or so, is on the top left of the People. CIC wants Swazuri on signing deeds. Constitution and Implementation Commission body tells Lands Commission boss he faces jail over signature. Quite other stories are covered for you elsewhere on your other dailies. Read about your favorite daily there. But the National Lands Commission has no power to sign land title deeds. That is the story that you should read. A continuation of the drama, in the lands ministry.
Yes, indeed, because, some will even say because of that crisis in the ministry, or that tough wars is the reason why perhaps the cabinet secretary did not appear to address the press yesterday. Or she had more pressing matters to attend to.
There are more pressing matters.
They are indeed.
Yes.
And actually one of the cartoons in the Standard talks about the Ngilu and Swazuri bury the hatchet. And you have the two of them. I don't think we have this for you on our graphics, but agreement on working together. There are two cartoons, they're holding the argument.
Look at the date was signed, 1st April.
Yes, indeed. And it's one of those cartoons that are April Fools. Also in the Standard today, you'll find the business beat, just as we bring this to a close. Not so hot anymore is the pullout, and tea, coffee, and horticulture lose their flavor. So that is what is covered for you in the business beat, alongside, of course, other stories in that pullout that you'll find also along the extra or inside the Standard on this April Fool's Day.